So the simplest way to witness to Mormons is to focus on the gospel itself and defining what they mean by salvation. Now, Mormons believe in two different types of salvation. There's general salvation, which means that Jesus died for all to go to heaven. Now, even Hitler is in heaven, according to this theology, because everyone gets accepted into it. However, Mormons believe in three different levels of heaven, which Hitler would be at the lowest, Christians would be at kind of the middle kingdom, and then the third, the highest level of heaven, is where exalted Mormons are going. So, with that, there's also exaltation for salvation. That is the other idea that Mormons have on salvation. And this means that they're working constantly and they have to put a ton of effort into their salvation in order to get to the highest kingdom. So to address this with Mormons, and the simplest way to help them understanding the true gospel is to show them the passage Ephesians 2:8-9. Have your Mormon friends read this passage themselves. And I have it here with me and I'm going to read it. So it says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, it is the gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no one may boast." Now, you see the fascinating aspects of this passage is Paul is talking about a completely different gospel than what the Mormons believe. With this passage, it says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith." So to have faith being the aspect of salvation for Christians and what the Bible teaches, that's completely different than the idea of general salvation that Mormons teach. And then with that, this passage also points out that it is not a result of works so that no one may boast. So it's not talking about exaltation. So Paul is clearly talking about a completely different gospel, a completely different idea than what Mormons believe in. So the simplest way to witness to Mormons is to have them read through this passage, show it to them, and have them read it to you, and then break down each of those terms and then say, oh, well, if it's not talking about general salvation and it's not talking about exaltation, then what is this passage talking about? Because it clearly seems as though Paul is taking a different look on the gospel than what Mormons are preaching. So with that, you can kind of expose the truth to your Mormon friends, and then also take the opportunity when they're explaining this to you to share the true gospel with them. Help them to understand and see through this passage that it's about being saved through faith and not by works. And once Mormons come to the point of believing in the true Jesus as a means of salvation through faith and nothing else that they can do, that is what brings them to knowing the truth of the gospel. So we hope that this topic has been helpful for you on thinking through the simplest way to witness to a Mormon.